Hey.
Hi, you guys. Welcome to a new episode of Too Much with Shey
and Becca. Hey, y'all. Happy Black History Year. I don't want to hear the month. Okay. It's the year, period. Because guess what? When people see you, I know Shayla and I talk about, our it's nationality technically, right? Nationality.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Shayla and I talk about our nationalities and how we're proud Caribbeans, this, that, and the third. But when people see us, they don't think, oh my God, she looks like she could be Haitian. No, they just see black skin and be like,
yeah.
So regardless of all that, happy Black History Year. Be black, be proud, be loud always. Okay. No matter what they say and the stereotypes they have against our skin, we out here and we doing it up. Okay.
Yup. Race and nationality does, confuse a lot of people. And I get it. I understand. You know what I mean? There are those that choose the ignorance, but there are those that also just really don't know. You know what I mean? Even for me, like Afro Latinidad, we've discussed this. We have a whole episode on it. Go watch it. So yeah, I could learn some things because we gained a lot from it as well. So yeah, there is such thing as Afro Latinidad. Rebecca gets about that, but like Rebecca said, happy Black History Month, year, life. This is not, we love to celebrate and amplify. It's kind of like Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? It's like a day, but we should celebrate love every single day. I'm so grateful to have my curls back. Last week it was straight, but this is Shey. This is my staple. This is my trademark, honey.
I'm back to normal.
Hello, girl. Honestly, I didn't even recognize myself with straight hair. We did that for a cute little week, but now we're back to reality. And on that note, if you are new, thank you so much. I hope you guys stay. I'm Shey, Becca. We talk about all things life, culture, entertainment, sports. We have a lot of sports for you today. That's a quick little, if you are a reoccurring viewer, we love y'all. Damn, you're used to news, social corner, then sports. But today's episode, we're going to hit news and then sports corner because that's how crazy sports has been. If you don't like news or any of the things, please feel free to just fast forward to the things that you like. Obviously, we want you to watch the full episode, but we understand. You know what I mean? You don't like it, you don't like it. But on that note, let's start with our weekly rundown.
Yes. Oh, wow. I forgot about that for a second. I'm like,
girl. Clearly, a lot has been happening with you, sis. What was your week like?
So, as y'all know, Rebecca went to get her blood work last week, and I told you there was fat tears rolling down my cheek, yada, 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 boom, boom, boom. And if you remember a few weeks ago, like last year, I talked about how my vitamin D levels were at a 12, and they're supposed to be at, I think, a 30. And I was like, dag. So, update, Rebecca went to her appointment today to go over my blood work and everything, and your girl is at a 30 for vitamin D. But of course, with everything, they tell you one good thing and they tell you one bad thing. And I've been eating spinach, right? I've been eating my spinach, and my iron levels did go up, but they're still low.
Listen, a win is a win. We're going to take the win.
I'm going to take the one where I can take it, honestly. Okay. And the next thing I want to talk about. So, I always say as an adult, a lot of times some people are forced to grow up so fast that they're, the child that they were wasn't allowed to be a child, And I feel like as adults, you should do things that allow you to feed that inner child in you. So on, what day was it? I think it was Sunday. On Sunday, me and my friend Noemi, shout out to you. Me and my friend went to go color at a cafe, right? So
I just want to give a little caveat. During the pandemic, when I showed up with my coloring books and my color pencils, markers, I was judged. But one thing about life, honey, it always, you know what I mean? Anyways, continue.
Girl, and
that was cute, but I got dragged for it.
Nobody dragged you. Now you're gonna make people think that I was really down bad.
You was judging. You said, "Oh, baby, speaks for itself." But it's okay. Continue.
Anyway, so we went to go color, and y'all, look at this one I did. Tell me my Hello Kitty don't look fire. The key is to outline the inlines with a marker, and then you color with a crayon, and then you go over it with a color pencil to give it a real nice pop. But my favorite one, y'all ain't get to see that one yet. Let me show y'all real quick, and then I'll move on with my little stories. Look at that. Tell me this Okay, fire. You see the apples. And yes, I didn't have pink. So Hello Kitty was getting every color in the book, but it's okay because she popping regardless. Okay. Now the next thing we're gonna talk about that happened in my week. Hold on, where is it? Oh, I write things down. I went coloring, yes. Um, Oh, I also went to the movies, right? So if you've watched this and you are reoccurring, then like I'm not really like a watch a TV show, watch a movie. Like I'm not like that type of person. But there was this movie that I was telling Shayla about that I saw that was basically about like the judicial system, but it was like AI incorporated. And I was like intrigued because I'm like, I feel like that's the route that we're low key going in. Like I could see like our justice system incorporating AI when it comes to like making like guilty or not guilty, decisions. And I went to go see the movie Mercy, and I would say I give it like a solid 7 out of 10. And the reason why I gave it a 7 out of 10 is because like the person who ended up doing it at the end, I was not expecting. And then it led to like a whole bigger thing. And I was just like, hold up. Like it was like kind of like the things that interconnected. I was like, okay. But there was moments in the movie where I was like, this is a lull. Like, I'm like, all right, this is dragging a little bit. But all in all, 7 out of 10. I recommend for you to go watch. And yeah, the last thing I would say is this is not something to brag about, but it's something to mention. I don't mind when people hate me or get mad at me because I prefer that. I don't like when people talk to me, period. Like, leave me alone. Right. And so I made 6 people real upset with me yesterday. And it was like in different like occurrences. And Shayla, people just
So
don't.
now you keeping tabs on the number of
No,
people that get
because
mad at you. What?
No, because you know how my mouth is. I don't go out of my way to make people mad on purpose. Actually, yes, sometimes I do. But in this case, like I was just talking, like people asked my take on something and they got mad because they disagreed with me, or like it was coworkers and they said something stupid and I just had to clock it real quick. And people was just mad at me the whole day yesterday. I was just like, okay, oops, I did it again.
Rebecca and I, this is why people think that we don't get along. We do. I wish we don't got time to hear all the 6 stories, but I'm sure, I love y'all down. Well, Rebecca, I love y'all down too, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. Maybe some of these situations, there was a reason why people got mad at you.
Yeah, they're emotional, but that's not my fault.
I'm emotional.
That's not my fault though.
Ciao. Anyways, was that a wrap on your week?
Yeah, that's it, y'all. So go out and color. And if you do color, hit me up on Instagram. Show me a photo of what you colored. I love that.
Okay, period. So for my week, I also went to the movies. Everyone was hyping up Marty Supreme with Timothy Chalamet. Yes, Timothy Chalamet. Y'all know me and pronunciation don't go well together. I try my best. So everyone was hyping up Marty Supreme. This is such a great movie. And I watch movies. I like movies. I like TV shows. I'm all about a good production. I love that. I watched that. I said, are y'all watching the same movie that I'm watching? I think the movie was extremely long. And if they would have shortened it, let's please bring back 1.5 hour movies. If they would have shortened it, it would have been better. I think like by 2 hours, I said,
hold up. How many hours was the movie?
2.5 hours. By the 2-hour mark, I'm looking at everybody like, am I the problem? It just felt they were forcing storylines within the movie. I think if it was shortened, it would have been better. But again, I also think people overhyped it because they love Timothy so much. They think he's so hot. He's so great. He's the moment. Don't get me wrong. He is a great actor. I'm not talking about the acting. He is a great actor. It's just more so like the storyline. Rebecca and I, we're journalists. We love storytelling. Like we love that. And I'm just like, yeah, we're pushing so many storylines when I think just keep some stuff out and it would have made the movie better. But also it may just be me because people love the movie down. And so maybe it was me.
But that's how I felt about when we went to go see the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once or something.
That was a good movie though.
Girl, I was so bored. I fell asleep.
No. Don't listen to that. That movie is actually good and you should go watch it. Yeah. But anyways, that was that. And then another thing that happened this week, I want y'all to comment down below. Shout out to, they don't want me to name drop. I went over to my friend's house, right? And before we're pre-planning, I I'm not with the text back and forth, right? But they were texting back and forth in the group chat, and I knew we were going to meet this day to watch Bridgerton. Are there any Bridgerton lovers out there? Comment down below. And so it was a new season coming out. The first like half of the episodes were dropping. I'm like, great, Dandy. They said, oh, we're going to eat pizza and watch it. I'm like, okay, great. The day comes and I'm like, oh, hey, guys, like, are we still getting pizza? I just want to make sure so I don't eat like a whole big lunch and then I'm not hungry for when I go over. They're like, yeah, we're still going to get pizza. I show up to the establishment. And one thing about God, honey, always on my side. So as I'm like, I just had parked and they literally were approaching back to the house. They were like, oh, we're going to head out to get the pizza, but we'll be right back. And I'm like, okay, great. And just as I was parked and getting out the car, they were coming back home. And I see with my contacts, I'm blind, from across the street. I said, first I peeped the ice cream because I'm an ice cream girl. I said, okay. And then my eyes move up and I see a square pizza like this, maybe like double this, like this. Frozen pizza. I said, hey, that's not the pizza, right? Mind you, I'm trying to like not be dramatic because hello, our podcast too much. We are a lot. And they're like, yeah. Frozen pizza. It's like a DiGiorno pizza. Comment down below. Is DiGiorno pizza like the thing? They said, oh, it's so good. I said, I thought we were eating pizza. They said this is pizza. So all of that to say, Rebecca, when people say, oh, yeah, we're coming over, we're watching a TV show movie and we're getting pizza, are you thinking frozen pizza or are you thinking we're ordering out pizza? Because that's what I was thinking. I thought we were going to buy pizza.
I think like you're going to order multiple boxes of pizza. Like I'm not thinking like even if it's 3 people, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get 2 pies of pizza and we're gonna get like one with this topping, one with this topping, so everybody can have an option. 1 box is crazy. A frozen one, that's that like the way you're making it seem like 3 grown individuals not sharing that.
Like, oh my God. And I love y'all down if y'all watching, but they know listen, we never put up a front. The same way we are raw and uncut here, we are the same type of people when we are around our friends. Whether you love us or hate us, we are going to keep it real. That's just how we are. And that's that on that. So other than that, my week has been good. Booked and busy, work, school, this. I'm working on the year of yes. I want to say yes to more things. And now I'm already tired of it.
You said work, school.
Oh, I said school? Okay.
That's what I said.
Maybe I've learned something new this weekend. That's why I felt like I went to school.
Life is about lessons, baby. We
hello. Exactly. We've been busy. But anyways, yeah, now let's move over to our news segment. Don't be scared. Don't run away. News is good sometimes. You know what I mean? But if you don't want to, go over to our sports corner or our social corner. Number 1, the first news story that I want to discuss is something that is so heartbreaking. I do want to note, yes, I know people go missing every single day. That is like, I have to mention that, right? Like, I think sometimes when our family members or something that happened to us, we're like, oh, we don't get the media attention that we wish we did, right? Because to everybody, to anyone, right? My mom is the most important thing in my life, right? And I think everyone feels that way for their respective family members. And the reality is that most people do not get the same media coverage that other people do. That's just a reality. That's how life works. But in that same breath, if something crazy were to happen to me, I am going to use all the resources that I have available because what else can you do type thing? You know what I mean? So today or this week, Savannah Guthrie's mom, here she is. That's Savannah Guthrie. She is a Today co-host. That's Savannah Guthrie, her mom. And the guy to the right is Pima County Sheriff County, Dicapina County, is Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos. So more of the story is, who are these people? Why does it matter? So this week we learned that well-known Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's mother went missing this week, and the search is still ongoing, right? For her mom, she's 84 years old, and the search is intensifying in Arizona. Authorities say she disappeared from her Tucson home and believe she may have been taken against her will after blood was found on her porch and the blood was confirmed to be hers. No suspects have been publicly identified, but the FBI and local law enforcement are involved. And now a $50,000 reward is being offered for any information that may lead to, an arrest or some sort of push towards finding the mom. Savannah Guthrie and her family have made emotional public pleas asking for proof of life as investigators continue following up on possible ransom messages and leads. I think it is so crazy to me, right? We always say that technology is so advanced and, these police officers have all of this new technology and AI and all of this. And the fact that this well-known person's grandma went missing Sunday night, and it is now, as of this filming, it's Friday, and she still has not been found, or no leads have been, at least to the public's knowledge, they have no lead, is mind-blowing to me. Don't people say that we have cameras everywhere, right? So it's like, even if the cameras from Savannah's mom's house were removed or taken away, where's everybody else's cameras? Don't they got cameras on the streets? Like, I am just so perplexed as to how it's been so many days and there's been 0 leads. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, we were talking about it at work, and I don't know. I was like, I watch so many crime shows. I didn't think things like this actually happen in real life. Like,
Exactly.
like, I see movies and like I love a good crime drama. And I'm like, I didn't think this actually happened. I was like, oh.
Or if it did, it's like, she is 84 years old. Maybe she just left. She has dementia. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're going to find her. But the fact that it's been so many days now, and, the family has had to post videos on social media pleading, like, if you are the person that sent a ransom letter to TMZ or the local news outlet, like, please reach out to us. Like, we're ready to talk. This literally feels like a real life crime show. And it is crazy to me. I love my mom. Like, listen, she gets on my nerve, but that's my mom. And I just hope and wish and pray that they are able to find her mother, because even like on the first few days when they made it public, they were like, my mom takes daily medications. Like, she needs to drink these medications in order to survive. So it's like, if they find her, like, will she be alive? It's just so mind-blowing. Like, do you think the person knew that it was a Today Show host grandma? Like, there's just so many things that are just so perplexing. Savannah was supposed to go cover the Winter Olympics, which begin today. And, obviously she said, well, I'm not going because I need to focus on my family. And it's just mind-blowing. I hope they find her. And girl, if you love somebody, tell them you love them, because Jesus Christ, you are here today, but you don't know what's going to happen the next day.
No, literally.
So the next story that just broke not too long ago is President Trump launched this new thing, right, in order to allegedly, emphasis on the allegedly, work on reducing drug prices. Child, he ain't doing nothing. He just like to talk. But of course, as is Trump, he made sure that he included his name. Anytime he drops something, he will find a way to make it about himself. So he dropped a website called TrumpRx. Here it is. If you go to it, this will pop up. It says, find the world's lowest prices on prescription drugs. TrumpRx is rewriting the script, bringing major savings on essential medications for all Americans. And one thing about Trump, he is a good marketer. You know what I mean? If you read that, you're going to think, oh, yes, this is great. Like, the goal is to help Americans find lower drug prices. On surface, it seems real cute, real dandy. But the reality is, this ain't going to do nothing for nobody. Okay, let me give you the little breakdown. The reality. So President Trump launched an online prescription drug platform called TrumpRx, which the administration claims will help lower drug prices. In reality, the site does not sell medication and offers limited discounts that mainly apply to uninsured people or those paying entirely out of pocket. Meaning, for most Americans with health insurance, the platform provides little to no benefit. since the prices do not apply to insurance plans or count towards deductibles. The administration says the goal is transparency, but critics argue the site gives the impression of broad savings without delivering meaningful relief. Others have called it more of a political branding move. I agree with that. Then a serious fix to high prescription drug costs. So essentially, it's like you go there, you go on the site. Here's like a little video. You go on the site, you can search at the bottom what you're looking for: diabetes, weight loss, whatever you want. You press on it. It'll show you, here we go, an Ozempic pen. Here are the prices. And it's like, oh, here's the discount you can get. And then you can put all your information, right? And then when you go down and you input your information, it'll tell you, it'll give you the information of like the coupon that you can get. And I'm gonna, when it goes down a little bit more, it'll show you a little like TrumpRx coupon that you can allegedly show at certain, well, not Walgreens, that's wherever you get your medication. And I'm just like, most people have insurance, yes or no?
First off, you ate down with that little show and tell period. That's my girl, okay? Because some people think we just be talking out the wazoo. I, as someone who like, you know, we all have like family members who take medication and everything like that. And I've seen the difference between when it was the Obama administration till now, how medication prices and everything have completely changed. It's also important to acknowledge the economy is very different. So obviously inflation and things like that are going to take part in those pricing schemes, right? I just feel like when I saw this, my question is like, what was the reason? Like, what is the reason? Like, especially most people have jobs that offer them benefits. And it's just like, what is the reason? Like, how many people do you actively know? And I'm like talking to like strictly the supporters, because most of his supporters have health insurance plans. So it's just like, this doesn't even apply to you. So it's just like, how many people do you actively know who don't have insurance? Like, that's like the question that I feel like needs to be. I just don't understand what was the reason. I feel like out of the thousands and thousands, like, yes, paying for medication, we talk about the healthcare system and how it's like trash, especially when it comes to copays, all this, that, and the third. Get me a coupon so I can have my 10 sessions without having to pay a copay every single time. Like, you know, things like that, things that actually are going to help the everyday person. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not doing, like, none of this is helping the everyday person. Most. And
the thing is like, in America, I'm sorry to cut you off. No, in America, you're kind of forced to have health insurance. You know what I mean? Like, I remember a few years back, which is one of the reasons, there were several, why like 2 years into being in nursing school, I was like, yeah, no, this is not for me. Yes, there was several other factors, but I remember I was working as a CNA. I was also working at Marshall's, and then I had to have health insurance because once you start, you know, going out in the field, you're expected to have health insurance, obviously. And so I usually had like NJ Family Care, but they denied me because they said I was making too much money, which in itself is, girl, if I was making too much money, I would not be having two jobs. But anyways, whatever. And so I was like, the fact that I am here busting my behind to, you know, pay my way through college and, you know, buy books, whatever, I'm trying to join this medical field and y'all are penalizing me because I can't afford to get health insurance. It's just all very baffling. And it's like, Trump does not care about you. I say this all the time. He just wants to. And the thing is, people are just so slow in the mind. They don't think. They say, oh, TrumpRx. They like whatever is spoon fed to them, they will take it, right? Because obviously on the screen, it says, yes, this is how we're helping lower drug prices and da-da-da. This is not doing anything for that. And so if you believe that, I don't know what to tell you, child. That's
Girl,
not
we're in a slow demic. And then these slow people also had kids who gonna be even slower. So it's just like a cycle of slowness. Like, we ain't never gonna get a speedy thought anywhere through there. So anyway, let us get into our sports corner. You got 24 seconds and it's starting right now. Yes. So, like, as you know, Shayla mentioned it at the top very eloquently that there a lot happened in the sports world, right? And especially if you do know the sports world, then you know the NBA trade deadline ended on Thursday, February 5th at 3 p.m. And literally the moment the NBA trade started, it was just like boom, 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 like talks here, chatter here. We're looking to see where this person's gonna go, like literally out the wazoo. But before I want to get into that, we're gonna also talk about how on Sunday we have the Bad Bunny concert featuring
Not the Bad Bunny, the Bad Bunny Bowl.
the Bad Bunny Bowl, literally featuring the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. And Shayla and I are going to a sports bar. People in New Jersey.
Sports bar / a club.
People in New Jersey, where are y'all going to watch the Super Bowl? Because, you know, as someone I'm usually always working during the Super Bowl, so this is new territory for me. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to look at. So if y'all do know, let me know where y'all are going, because me and Shayla might pop out. We
want young people. This is like what the places that we want. We want it to be cultured, people in their mid-20s to like max 40. You know what I mean? We love the grandmas. We love the young. We love all of that. But we want, like, you know, we both single. We trying to be where the people at. You know what I mean? They be like, go outside. That's how you meet your man. So we trying to be outside, but let's have a range, honey. No, we don't want to be with the grandpas and grandmas. Love y'all.
Emphasis on cultured. Like,
yes,
if you get what that means, you know what it means. The ones who get it. But anyway, we are looking forward to the Super Bowl. I have a few parlays out. I'm rooting for my parlays. I don't really care who wins. Actually, I do care who wins because I have a parlay on who wins, but I'm not going to do that. Universe. But you know, I already got them, girl. I already made them. So we rooting for Rebecca's parlay. Let's get into it.
I'm not rooting for nobody's parlay. Don't gamble. Don't do none of that on my watch. But I want the Seahawks to win.
Yes. Yeah, I do too, but I didn't want to jinx it. Oh, knock on wood. Okay, so yes, I want the Seahawks to win because I don't like to support Massachusetts teams. If you know, you know. But anyway, the Super Bowl is happening, featuring Bad Bunny, the Bad Bunny Bowl. We about to be bring your what's it called? Yeah, marachas.
I am not bringing the maracas to the club, child.
Why not? I'll bring a whistle.
Security gonna take this in the security line. We're like, eso, mi amor. I'm like, oh, literally. I'm an artist. You ain't know?
Right. I'm here to turn it up. Y'all know I was part of Bad Bunny's bands. Yeah, period. Anyway, let us get into the NBA portion of our topics because there's a lot to discuss. Like I mentioned, the trades literally like hurt my head. And I feel like nothing is going to outweigh last year's when we had that random trade between Luka Doncic and then Anthony Davis. And everybody was like, huh? Like what? Like it just baffled everybody. Right. And so, but there was a lot of conversations around this year's trade because a lot of people, I know Giannis, people were expecting Giannis to go to a different team. We also were expecting a trade for John Morant, and neither of those trades happened. Like everybody was talking about how Giannis is potentially going to go to the Heat, or he's going to go to the what was that? The Knicks, Warriors. Like there was like 4 teams that were like mainly being discussed when it came to Giannis and a trade potentially happening for the Milwaukee Bucks. Then the trade deadline happens, and come to find out the Bucks said that no, we're actually going to keep Giannis for the remainder of the season, and then after the season is over, we will then entertain conversations. But they didn't say that at all during the whole. I mean, I'm sure they said it to the people that they were trying to, the teams they were trying to trade with, but they never said nothing to the public until after the fact. And also, we've been hearing throughout the season that John Morant is not working for him in Memphis. They're tired of his shenanigans. They're tired of the games, this, that, and the third. So I'm expecting this man, like apparently he had just bought a house in like Miami, and everybody's like, oh my God, he's about to get traded to the Heat, this, that, and that. I'm expecting those type of conversations, but no. Neither one of those happened, right? So here's just a few breakdown. A lot of trades did happen, but I'm not going to go through every single trade because, baby, we would be here for 2 hours and ain't nobody got time for that. So the first one I'm going to mention, we did have a conversation about Chris Paul in the past about his dealings with the Clippers and how basically how they did him was real dirty, especially after him announcing his retirement year. So Chris Paul was traded to the Toronto Raptors in a 3-team deal. I'm not going to name everybody who was a part of that deal. Just know that Chris Paul went to the Raptors. Lonzo Ball, if you know, we talked about his brother, LaMelo. No, LiAngelo. It was LiAngelo.
Whoa.
Right, Mr. Whoa, who always got the baby mama troubles. Okay. Lonzo Ball was traded to the Utah Jazz in a 3-team trade as well. And then this is the one I think that was like very like talked about because like we're all like, huh? Right. So James Harden, who was a part of the LA Clippers, I don't know, there's some discrepancy in the conversations because people are saying he asked for a trade, but then he was saying that I didn't ask for a trade, but we did have a conversation and we were talking about the longevity of the team. Like, it was just, there's a lot of like conversations happen out there, right? But I do believe, considering how his pattern has been with previous teams, that he did request a trade, right? So James Harden is now being added to the Cavs roster, right? And who did they end up trading for the James?
I'm so sorry, sis.
And
Now are you the question is, are you not gonna root for that team
I'm rooting for my man.
and the team and company?
Girl, ain't nobody worried about the Clippers. So then, if you guys want to know, yes, well, I'm gonna let you guys know. So in the James Harden trade, the Cavs ended up trading Darius Garland, and if you know, that's my man in my head. I was sick. Okay, so the LA Clippers ended up receiving Darius Garland and a future second round pick. Now, Darius Garland is currently going through some issues right now. He has like some issues with his toe right now, and he did play at points during the season with the Cavs, but then he was out. I believe he's been out for like 3 weeks. It could be potentially longer that he's been out, but he's been dealing with that toe injury. So now he's with the Clippers, and I am just sick to my stomach about it because I was just talking cash smack about the Clippers. And what's that phrase you be saying? The one who laughs first always laughs last, or something like that?
El que ríe de último ríe mejor. Whoever laughs last laughs the best. Clock it, tattoo it, never fails.
I was sick, and I was saying, it was so funny because like literally it was me and my coworker we're talking about sports, and I was just like, all I know is this James Harden and Darius Garland trade better not happen. I turn my head and I get an alert on my computer that says James Harden to the Cavs, Darius Garland traded to the Clippers. I said, I was sick.
You was giggling until that last point.
Literally 2 seconds went by and then it happened. Anyway, so I'll get more into my thoughts once I get done with a little more of this list. Then Jared McCain, he was traded to the OKC Thunder. The Grizzlies traded Jaren Jackson Jr., which I was not expecting because remember, like I mentioned, John Morant has been the person of conversation that we have heard about. The team basically want to kind of cut ties with. So I was not expecting them to trade Jaren Jackson Jr. Honestly, that surprised me. Also, the Cavs also did add Keon Ellis, Dennis Schroeder, and Emmanuel Miller to the roster, and the Cavs ended up sending DeAndre Hunter, which surprised me also because DeAndre Hunter has been a really good third option for the Cavs, right? Like, well, when he was with the team. So I was very surprised about that. Golden State Warriors, if you know, that's my team, right? So they have acquired.
Child, no shade. They becoming mini Celtics. No shade.
Girl, I like, anyway. So, like Shayla said, Kristaps Porzingis, who was originally with the Atlanta Hawks, has been traded to the Golden State Warriors, and the Golden State Warriors have traded Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield to the Atlanta Hawks. And that trade, I'm gonna get more. Sorry, baby. Yeah, I'm gonna get more into my thoughts on that. The Knicks then also just acquired Jose Alvarado, who was originally a Brooklyn native. So I know, like, I feel like this is a great one for him. I always thought he was a pest when he would verse my teams because that man be coming from out of nowhere.
That's why I loved him. Aside from the fact that he's Puerto Rican, because I'm always gonna root for my people. But also, I think this is so perfect because he reminds me a little bit in like the pest thing with what's the guy? He's like a part of the Nova Knicks.
Nova Knicks.
Yeah, like the Nova trio.
Oh, you talking about the one who's on the Timberwolves now?
They moved him. No, he's with the Knicks.
You're talking about Josh Hart?
Yes, he reminds me of
Oh
Josh
my gosh,
Hart.
Shayla, I felt that, like, they're very similar in, like,
Mhm.
their type of play. I
I agree.
absolutely agree with you. I agree with you on that point. Like, that was like, mind you, like I mentioned, when I've seen Jose Alvarado play versus my teams in the past, I'm like, "Man, get his behind off the court." Like, he be coming out of nowhere, steals the ball, and you like, "Dag!" Like, y'all ain't see over your shoulder. Like, peripherals need to be on 20,000 around him, right? But I'm glad that he's joining my team because now I'm like, you could be an asset instead of something that, hurts my team, But I definitely agree with you. Like, I feel like there's so many comparisons between Josh Hart's game and Jose Alvarado. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how like they work together. And Josh Hart had even posted on like on Twitter, X, whatever y'all want to call it. He was like, Jose, I was just like, yeah, period. I like that. There was another trade that I wanted to mention that oh, yes. So earlier in the week, also the same day I was talking about the Clippers and Darius Garland, I was talking about because I was watching the Knicks play the Washington Wizards. And I was just like, honestly, the Washington Wizards, like, they need to just go ahead and trade some of these players that are on the Washington Wizards to the Dallas Mavericks. Like, Anthony Davis ain't doing nothing there. Like, they got all these washed up players on the Dallas Mavericks. Literally a day later, I see the trade that Anthony Davis is going to the Washington Wizards. I said, baby, make me a GM today.
But I feel like it's very important to note that Anthony Davis is the reason or is the point why today the Dallas Mavericks do not have Luka. I think it is so insane that the Dallas Mavericks franchise player was moved to the Lakers to get Anthony Davis, and a season later that man is in a whole other franchise. And the Mavericks are now they're doing this own thing, but it's actually so like what was the reason? Like, and I get it, you know what I mean? But it's like, I think the Wizards now have something to look forward to if Anthony Davis can stay healthy, because it's like, who knows? But it's also important to note that before all of these trades happened, Trae Young from the Atlantic Hawks was moved to
the Washington Wizards.
To the Wizards. So, when it was just Trae Young, it's like, oh, they have zero future, like what's going on. But I feel like now with Trae Young and Anthony Davis, if he is able to stay healthy for at least 2 weeks, honey, they may move some, get some peoples in the chairs. But I know the Mavericks fan base is pissed off.
But the thing is, they have, like, I've been watching a lot of like the analytics and not analytics. What's them people, the commentators?
Oh, okay. Analysts.
Yeah, the analysts. There we go. Baby, thank you. So I've been watching a lot of the analysts talk, and one of the great points that they made is like, one of the things, I don't watch Maverick games as much as I should because, I still root for Klay Thompson. I always want him to be happy. So when I do catch some of the games between with the Mavericks, Cooper Flagg is a very talented player. I think with this move, and I heard one of the analysts say this, is like, with this move, I feel like what they're trying to do is build around Cooper Flagg to make him the new franchise player. And I could see how that move could benefit them. I just think any team putting stock still in Anthony Davis is laughable. This man has continuously, regardless of what team he has been on, shows that he cannot stay healthy. And it might not be his fault. It might be something genetic. Like, you don't know, but it's just like, I feel like it's laughable every time I see a team putting stock into him. It's like, how many times does this man have to be out for the season, out for 3 weeks, out for 4 weeks because he got a paper cut, a scratch, or this or that? Like, at what point do we stop putting stock into him?
Yeah, and I think also, I don't think the Wizards are looking at him to be the franchise player. Of course, when Anthony Davis is on, he's on. You know what I mean? But I think Trae Young is going to be, which is also questionable because when he was with the Atlanta Hawks, it was the reason why they let him go is because we've had you as franchise player for X amount of times. And yes, we've gotten to the finals, but no trophy for real. So we wish him the best of luck.
I guess. Right. And the last thing that I want to mention is James Harden. The Cavs doing this trade to me makes no sense because I know people love James Harden. I'm not going to question him as a talented player, but when the playoffs happen, the man is non-existent, right? I just feel like from what I've seen, people who are his fans are going to talk about the one-off games where he's like, oh, well, he scored this, he did this, he was mid-range, but when the game's really on the line, like I'm talking about game 5, game 6, and I need you, you're barely there, right? And I just feel like the Cavs making this trade doesn't make much sense to me because I'm like, y'all have, what's Coco's man's name again? It's skipping my mind right now.
No, Coco
Donovan Mitchell.
Correct.
Right. I'm like, y'all already have Donovan Mitchell. That's your star player. And him and Darius Garland, they worked very well together. And then you also added DeAndre Hunter. And I was just like, wow, like, like it was working.
They had a chemistry already.
Right. It was like working. And I understand Darius Garland is injured right now. But again, toe injury, the feet are very important. So you got to be very delicate with how you recuperate from those.
Feet are very important, is sending me. They are.
They are.
Shout out to feet. One time
shout out to the toes, period. So like, to me, I just don't understand why. It's like similar with Anthony Davis. Like, yes, as talented as you can be, why put stock into something I continuously see from you? James Harden does not know how to stay a part of a team. When things don't seem like they're going his way, he's so quick to be like, I want to trade. Mind you, most of the teams that he's gone to and has said, I'm so happy to join, you are the first person to talk about, kick me out, let me go.
Mm-hmm. And also another point, I feel like James Harden likes to be the focal point, and the Cavaliers already have that, honey. Donovan Mitchell is like, this is his franchise. So they need to make it very clear, you're going to come as a supporting cast, honey. You are not the topic. You are not the moment. And I think sometimes when he wants to, he's okay with doing that. But sometimes when he is just a supporting cast, he is too laid back and not giving it his all, which, defeats the entire purpose. Like, yes, we want you to be here, but we want you to give it your all, even when you are not the franchise player, even when you're not the number one. Because at the end of the day, game 0, few seconds left, we're giving the ball to Donovan Mitchell. You know what I mean? And, sometimes it may be you, but you need to understand that.
Yeah, honestly. And I think my last point to that is just that there's longevity in youth. You have like Darius Garland is 26 years old. Like, this man is getting better and better every year. And it's just like James Harden, I really wholeheartedly believe he has 2 to 3 years left in him. And the fact of this trade is like giving like, you're just going in to try and get that ring. But the thing is, some players are not meant to get a ring, like realistically. Like, it's just not, getting a ring is hard. And it's just not in the cards for most people. And like, to your point, Donovan Mitchell is the focal point of this team. Donovan Mitchell is who you could put stock in because he consistently shows up when he needs to show up, right? I don't get that same motivation or effort when I look at James Harden. But anyway, Darius Garland, you are going to flourish. I'm still going to support my baby. I don't support the team, but I'm going to support my man, right? And the last thing I want to mention, my Warriors y'all finna piss me off so bad because Kristaps Porzingis, please, like, what?
No shade. It's the same thing with Anthony Davis. When he's good, when Kristaps Porzingis is on, he is on. But the issue is they are always injured or sick or dealing with something. And I get it, how Rebecca said, it is not their fault. If you was just built like that, you built like that. But as a franchise, you need to understand that and think, I get it. Yes, we want a center, right? I think a lot of Warriors fans, we want a center, but I want a center that can actually be outside and be on the court and be a center. Not
someone who going to do something. And don't get me wrong, yesterday I watched the Warriors play the Phoenix Suns and they ended up winning that game. And it was like real nice. Like, at first, like when I turned on the game, because I just came back from work, I was just like, oh my God, they down by 15. Like, they about to piss me off. But then in the end, they ended up getting the win and Stephen Curry was out, right? And I was like surprised, right? But I just think, like, to me, I'm just like, of all players I need y'all to go get, y'all already giving retirement home. Y'all keep getting these older players. Y'all not investing as much in your youthful players, because then y'all also traded, I think his name is Trevor Jackson Davis. I think that's his name, or Travis, something like that. And I'm like, y'all had somebody who was young, who could play, who could defend, and then you go and get me Kristaps Porzingis. And as a true Knicks fan, if you know, who did Kristaps Porzingis start with? My New York Knicks. And guess where they shipped him? To the next team, because he wasn't doing a gosh darn thing when they tried to make him the face of the team. Like, please don't piss me off. Anyway, that's all we have to talk about for the trades. The last thing I'm going to mention when it comes to the NBA is a different player, who is Paul George, and he recently has been suspended. So Paul George has been suspended 25 games for violating the NBA's anti-drug program, sparking widespread speculation of what substance caused the failed test. George says he took improper medication while seeking mental health treatment, taking full responsibility and apologizing to the Philadelphia 76ers. Fans have speculated about the medications such as Adderall, Xanax, ketamine, or antidepressants, though no substance has been confirmed. And, shout out to my boy Shams. Shams is the reason why I've been up to date on all my NBA trades. But I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of the, like, what he says that Paul George has said in his statement, where he was saying that he's taking responsibility. It's like, sir, you had no choice but to take responsibility. You took it, duh. Like, with given anyway. And if you want to know what Paul George, that's James Harden.
No, I want to say the responsibility was taken for him. Yeah, you ain't have a choice, Buki.
Like, this is Paul George, if y'all don't know what he looks like. Yeah, so like when I saw this, I was listening to NBA Today. Was it NBA Today? No.
That's a 3 p.m. show?
No, that's the one.
Get Up. Get Up is the morning one.
No, the one with Charles Barkley and Shaq and them. What's it called again?
Oh, that's the one that was in TNT.
Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Know. If you care about sports, you know.
Right, you get it. So I was listening to Charles Barkley and Shaq talk about it. And, Charles Barkley made a very great point. Mm-hmm. I feel like when it comes to mental health, like, we can't sit here and say we prioritize mental health, this, that, and the third, and then I would punish you for taking the medicine that's supposed to help your mental health. It has to be something that is not approved by the league or the National Players Association or whatever like that. Like, mm-hmm. It has to like be. So I'm like, and what could it be? And my thing is, if you're going to sit here and say a statement, give me all the details. Like, let me, if you're really remorseful about it, give me some information about what the drug is. So that way we can all be like, okay, like, let's look into this, because, if this is for your mental health, we need to add this to the list so that you can feel the best to your ability. I'm like, this is fishy. I'm a little like side-eyed.
Yeah, I feel like he been in the league way too long to now all of a sudden you did not know. Like, you've been in the league a very long time. You know a lot of people around you that are in the league, and maybe, again, this is all alleged in terms of what I'm going to say. Maybe you just thought you was not going to get caught, right? They weren't going to drug test you, and you're like, oh yeah, that's fine. I've gotten past this before. No one drug tested me, and then you got. You know what I mean? Of course, I understand it. If you're prioritizing your mental health, I'm always for that. But actions have consequences. And it's just very like annoying, because the Philadelphia 76ers were already like, struggling because they didn't have a lot of people on their team, right? People are injured. And then we finally get you back. And now you did something that is going to take you out of our team when we need you. It's so I'm sure like for the franchise, it's so infuriating. First it was Joel Embiid. Now Joel Embiid is back. Now that George was back, now he not on the court. So it's just right. Like,
and then we ever Jared McCain, and he was already out for his own injury. And
it's like, how can we build consistency? And it's even more infuriating when it was something that you could have controlled.
Literally. And I honestly, this is like my, conspiracy theory. I think he possibly did it because he probably heard in like the air that there was possibly trade talks and that he didn't want to be traded. And he probably was like, you know what? Let me take this medicine real quick so I don't get traded. That's my conspiracy.
But you could get traded even if you're not playing.
Not if they think something mentally wrong with you and you taking drugs.
Baby, it's the league. They trade abusers. I don't think they worry about low mental health.
You're right. You got that. You got that.
So on that note, to wrap up our real hefty social corner this week, honey, we are really too much. We got a whole lot
You said
of
social corner?
no, to wrap up the sports corner, to get into our social corner. The Winter Olympics are about to begin. The opening ceremonies begin today, Friday. But I want to shout out to a group or a country that is getting a lot of, love for their uniforms. Let me show you. Here it is. Here are the uniforms for Haiti's Winter Olympics. If you know, you've probably seen this all over social media. It was created by a Italian Haitian designer. Her name is Stella Jean. And so, as you can see, the fits are fitting. And I love this quote that was put, I don't know, some social media site. It says, "We may not be a winter nation, but we are a nation that refuses to be confined by expectations. Absence is the most dangerous form of erasing, and we choose to be present." And that is so powerful because Haiti only has 2 people competing in the Winter Olympics, but quality over quantity, honey. Yes, is 2, but we got some powerful 2s. So shout out to them. Anytime, we say this all the time, we are very proud of our culture. So shout out to Haiti. Shout out to the Italian Haitian designer that came up with the winter uniforms. And shout out to the 2 people that will be competing. I want to say their names. There's 2 skiers. It's 2 skiers. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to the skiers. We love y'all down.
Period. And let us get into our social corner. Yes. Welcome to the social corner, baby. We have a little to get into, right? And so the first thing we're going to talk about is GloRilla. If you know about GloRilla, Gloria Hallelujah, whatever her last name is.
What?
That's her real name, Gloria Hallelujah, something.
Hallelujah?
Whoa. Yeah, Hallelujah.
Oh, okay.
Yes. When I first found that out, I said, "Oh,
I gotta Google that." GloRilla Hallelujah. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I swear to you,
GloRilla's full name. It is GloRilla Hallelujah Woods.
I told you. Yes, hallelujah. I think her family is like a church family or whatever like that. But the reason why we are talking about her today is because her sister has put the family drama on spotlight. Okay, so a brief little description. GloRilla is facing public family drama after her sister Victoria Woods, also known as Scarface, accused the rapper of neglecting her family financially and emotionally since gaining fame. After initially airing her grievances in a emotional Instagram live, Victoria took her claims to TMZ, saying she feels GloRilla is obligated to share her wealth, especially since she allegedly supports friends but not family. Victoria claims GloRilla ignored her request for help after she lost her job and says that their mother is still working at FedEx, with the family continuing to struggle financially. She alleges Glo does nothing for the family, accusing her of prioritizing flashy gestures over real support, claiming that even gifts like a Jaguar for their father were misleading and not truly helpful. Victoria says that some siblings still live in poor conditions and that GloRilla treats certain siblings like housemaids, right? And so there were a series of Facebook posts that were made, and like she detailed their upbringing and ongoing family financial hardships and their living conditions of their siblings, including their autistic brother. She criticized GloRilla for speaking publicly about growing up poor while allegedly doing nothing to improve the family's current situation. I'm going to show you guys really quickly her talk with TMZ really quickly.
Let's start with just your grievance that you feel that your sister has an obligation to share the wealth.
Hey, yeah, she got an obligation to share the wealth. We stay here, we struggle together. Took baths and bottles of water, rest, roaches, all that. Yeah, she obligated. Is them friends obligated? She doing everything for them. So yeah, I feel like I'm obligated.
What is it you think she's not doing for the family? What is the... you're making it sound like there's a real financial hardship. Describe what you're talking about.
She's not doing nothing. Nothing. She's not doing nothing for family. At all. She do little oohs and ahs for our parents or whatever, but barely nothing because my mama still clocking the clock at FedEx. No, she don't want to work. Gloria got y'all believing this fake ass, imaginary ass thing where she retired them. No, she did not. My dad retired because his time was up. She's supposed to have retired my mama, but she didn't. My mama still clocking the clock at FedEx.
Why does she owe it to you to support you and to support the family beyond what she wants to do? It's her money, right?
Because don't go on no interviews, talk about our struggle. You want to do that's not right. You don't sit here and talk about struggle, sit here and struggle with. It's not one sibling, you got 9 other siblings. She get her money just because she got plenty other in Memphis she getting money to. I got 2 siblings staying down there in Atlanta with her that she treat them like housemaids. Y'all keep on painting this picture like she's just a good person, an upright person. She's not.
So here's something that Glo pretty publicly did last year when your dad, you said he retired.
And obviously the interview continues from there. But Shayla and I have talked about this before when we talked about Gigi and her mother. We talked about how, like, you know, there's certain things when it comes to family that is just automatically a given, especially when you, like, I could only speak for Shayla and I when I say in Caribbean culture, there's just certain ways that you're supposed to conduct with your family that's just automatically a given, right? And for me, if I was to get rich, I would already know that I'm obligated to do and help out my family, right? And so I can't sit here and clock nobody's money. If GloRilla doesn't want to help out her family and these claims are true and everything like that, I can't clock no one's money because at the end of the day, that's her. If that's what she wants to do, if that's how she wants to be, then that's how she is going to be. All I can say, if it was me, I couldn't even do that. Like, I wouldn't even have the heart to not do that. You know what I mean?
I have several thoughts. Number one, yes, growing up in a Caribbean household, it is expected that you give back to your family. But just because it is expected doesn't mean that that's, you know, that it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's giving that her sister just wants attention, because in that clip all the way at the end, they're asking like, oh, like, how much do you want her to give you? And the sister says something along the lines of like, oh, I just want $2,500. And the TMZ reporters are like, flat or a month, like, which she's like, oh, $2,500. And it's like, so are you just looking for a moment of fame? I think she's doing it because she wants the attention. And just because I'm famous doesn't mean that now I need to carry on the bills of everybody and their mother. I'm so sorry. And yes, GloRilla is famous, but is she on like Oprah level? No, she still got bills to pay. She still has a team to pay. Like, sometimes people think that everybody is rich. Like, yes, GloRilla is a major artist, but I don't know if she's making that amount of money to be taking on the bills and responsibilities of all her family members. And I don't think it should be upon her. Because I know just with like my little small family that I have here living in DR, I can't even imagine. You have so much going on in your head, and then I also got to carry on your stuff. I don't think that is healthy. And even if like in our community it's expected, it doesn't mean that it is healthy. And I think that her sister just wants a moment of fame. And I hope that, you know, this is going to strain their relationship if they ever did have a relationship, because now don't come talk to me. Even if I feel some type of way, I am never going to confide in you. So I hope this moment of fame is worth losing your relationship with your sister.
Yeah. And I think to carry that point, like I mentioned, because I'm speaking for me, like, yes, I would help my family, but to Shayla's point, it's me and my little family, right? Like, I don't have 9 siblings and 2 parents to pay for.
Imagine
right?
that.
Right. So like, to me, I think also it's important to know is like, sometimes you have to help yourself. Like, I understand that like financial strain, this, that, and the third, like, it's an issue, right? But I would say for my parents, I would do everything I can for my parents because that is my parents. As my siblings, I'll do what I can to help you, but I can't be your singular help.
She could go work. Why is she not working?
She lost her job. I'm like, how you
go find another one? That's how I could help you. I could help find you a job. Like, if you are able, thank God. You know what I mean? You are able. You seem like you able. I don't know. You could walk. You got your 2 legs, your 2 arms. You ready to go. You healthy. Why you not working? I think that's actually embarrassing that you are getting on TMZ, right? And you are bashing your sister for not taking care of you when you could take care of you. You're an adult. You're not my child. Your parents is like, okay, but let the parents speak. You know what I mean? What are you doing? If your parents need so much help, what are you doing? Because they're also your parents, to help support your parents. Your dad was retired because he worked all his years that he had to work. Good for him. And your mom is working at FedEx. And if you are so pressed about the fact that your mom is still working at FedEx, then why aren't you doing your job to make sure that you can retire her? Sometimes parents just want to work. That's also another thing. Like, what if her mom just doesn't want to retire because she wants something to still do? You know what I mean? Like, to me, it just seems she wants her moment of fame. Point blank, period.
Yeah, I can only speak for me. I know I wouldn't allow my parents to, like, if I made it rich, I knew what I wouldn't allow for my parents. But also, it's important to note to have those boundaries and everything set in place. And listen, GloRilla is not obligated to help anybody, but it would be a very nice gesture for you to retire your mom or anything like that. But again, I can't clock nobody's bank account.
Hello? And on that note, let's clock something that we can clock, okay? And that is daytime talk shows, okay? I remember growing up, Wendy Williams and all the other shows were iconics. You know, we're iconic. Rebecca and I love to talk. And so whether we knew it or not, we're like, oh, hopefully one day I want to be XYZ, which is why after several iterations of us trying to produce things, we landed here on the Too Much podcast. We love to talk, all the things. And so this week was a tragic week for all the daytime talk show lovers. Okay, Kelly Clarkson announced that her show has ended or will end after 7 seasons. The Sherri Shepherd show was also canceled after 4 seasons. And rumor has it that the Jennifer Hudson show may be next and is likely to also end after its 4th season. And that is just so sad. If you don't know who Kelly Clarkson is, let me show you a little photo. That was to the left is the Kelly Clarkson show. To the right, Sherri Shepherd. And here we have the Jennifer Hudson show. I feel like on social media, the Jennifer Hudson show is more known because of the viral tunnel walks where it's like, you know, they create a little song for you and they're clapping and you're dancing.
Yeah, that's Mufasa.
Okay, there you go. Most people know the Jennifer Hudson show for the tunnel walk because they go viral on social media. But that does not reflect on actual TV views. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people don't watch TV, point blank, period. And so for me, it is kind of sad to see the downfall of so many daytime talk shows. But I also understand it. I feel like a lot of people are not actively watching TV. Then it's just like RIP. And if you also remember, the Sherri Shepherd show started after our good sister Wendy Williams. You know, she left for some medical situation, never came back, and then they had like a rotation of hosts. Sherri Shepherd and then they just created her own show eventually. And so we will see what ends up happening. If y'all ever want to hire us for a show, I love TV. Put me on.
I could get you some views. I could say a little controversial stuff. But to your point, Shayla, I remember growing up watching Wendy Williams. Like, I remember listening to her on the radio. And then when she made her transition into TV, I remember seeing that too, watching it with my mom. Like, I remember those memories of watching daytime TV, like sitting there with my mom watching it because, you know, I wasn't allowed to watch it by myself. Right. So, right, I had to watch it with my mama. And like, I remember those moments. And to your point, I think it's like the more of like, it's more sad in terms of like the nostalgia aspect because I'm like, oh my God, like, wow. I can't say that by the time we have kids, that daytime TV and things like that is still going to be a thing. So it's like kind of like, you know, it's bittersweet. I understand we have to move with the times, but I just hate when I see like a certain art that I used to be so fixated on dying, and I just feel like TV as a whole, like TV entertainment, like even E-News isn't even around no more. Like,
Yes.
so it's just like, I just hate seeing that facet of media dying, because I know that's what triggered such a big interest for me in terms of like, I want to be a journalist. I want to do entertainment. I want to see celebrities and interview them and this, that, and the third. Like, I just hate to see that.
I do. We hate to see it. Comment down below, what was your favorite daytime talk show? I think The View is still kind of like the one that is still running on. Is it The View or I don't know?
It's The View, and then you also got Kelly and Mark, I think,
and her husband. Yeah. So shout out to them. Hopefully the Jennifer Hudson show doesn't actually end, but everything is moving to social media and streaming and online, YouTube, all the things. And it's like you're forced to, like Rebecca said, move with the times. The last thing I want to mention is that JCole and Ella Mai both released their respective albums today, Friday. We have Ella Mai's Do You Still Love Me and JCole's The Fall Off. Have you listened to any of them, Rebecca?
So I have not listened to Ella Mai yet, but I did start listening to J. Cole's album, and I really do like Poor Thing, and I also like Legacy. Like those two songs, like I played Poor Thing twice. I said, hold up. Because, I listened to it while I was like getting myself ready this morning, and, I was just like, but if you know me, a song really don't hit until you play it in the car. So as soon as I got in the car, I played Poor Thing again. I said, yep, just what I thought. Yep.
Period. I listened to Ella Mai's. I did start listening to J. Cole, but I feel like J. Cole dropped way more songs than I thought he was gonna.
Girl,
it's like 2 albums in one. Maybe
it's like part 1, part 2, or something like that.
Yeah, maybe he did say that, and I just missed that notification, child. But in terms of Ella Mai's album, you could tell that she is a lover girl. Clearly, Jason Tatum has been doing my girl right, because it's all about love, 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 love. And we love that for her. She is a mom. I like that she has, come out public with it and is a little bit more vocal about the fact that she has a son. Of course, she don't owe us nothing. I think when people see celebrities, they do feel like, oh, I need to be in your life because you're a celebrity, but she really don't. But I think for the release of this album, she felt more comfortable talking about it. And also, did you know that Mustard is the producer for this album? I didn't know that she was like signed to. Yeah, I didn't know that she was signed to his label. So
he's a producer, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but when I think of him, I just thought about hip hop. I didn't think R&B. So I was just like, oh, okay.
Period. A talented person is a talented person, period.
Clock that, T. That is very true. And I know I said the last thing, but this is really the last thing. Keke Palmer, I thought I had the video. I don't. But she went on a Today Show with Jenna and Chanel. And she was asked, or they have some sort of segment. And in the segment, Keke revealed that one of her main dating non-negotiables now is that she does not want to live with her partner. They asked her, what if you're married? She said, well, no. He could live, he could have a little room inside the house. That would be kind of cute, but living together is a no.
Hold up.
Never want to live together.
Ooh.
One thing I could be open, but one thing I need you to know is that I never want to live together.
You're so quick. Should I take it personally?
I like my alone time.
But is that real?
That's real.
Oh, wait, are you speaking as Keke?
I'm speaking as the Keke.
Not the
Okay, girl. I honestly, I just feel like, Whoopi Goldberg said it best once. She was like, I don't want nobody in my house.
Yeah. Wait. Time out. You're for real right now.
I'm serious.
So
Married even.
So you're married? He's going to live around the corner?
Around the corner would be great.
What about a guest house? Would you let him live in the guest house?
We can be in a guest house. You know what I'm saying? We can be on the same, land, but I'm over there and he's over there.
Yeah.
At best, separate rooms.
Okay. So what about, you go to the bathroom, you have the 2 toothbrushes?
No, so he can miss my bathroom.
Is that your hot take?
So all of that to say, Rebecca, how do you feel about that?
I get it. honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, we started off the episode in our weekly rundown, and I talked about how like I like when people are mad at me, and I like when people don't like me, because I don't like people right back. Right? It's just like and I know I as hard body as I seem, and I am, but I am a lover girl at heart. But in that same breath, like,
You're lying.
I am a lover girl at heart.
No, I mean, you are such a like want to be on top of you.
Right.
You are going to want your partner to live with you.
Wait, there's some like, I'm not saying he gotta live in a whole different house, like he gotta live like on the block or nothing like that. I would love for us to have like separate rooms. Like, I don't like when people get on my nerves. I need you out of my face. Like, I don't want you, like, and I already know, as much as I'm gonna love my man, I get irritated with people very fast and very easily. And when I get irritated, it go dark in my head. So it's just like, if it gets dark in my head and I see you in my space, I'm like, it's going to get volatile. Like, you know, and that's not healthy. Obviously, I need to sit on the lady's couch and figure it out. But I understand where she's coming from. I don't want people in my space. Like, if I want to be sad, let me be sad. If I want to be ugly, let me be ugly. Get out my face. Like, I just, I get it though.
So when you are with your partner, are you going to tell him that your non-negotiable is y'all not trying to live together in the long term?
I didn't say that's a non-negotiable.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
I would tell him, I'll be like, I want you to have your own room in the house.
Okay, but that's separate. That's like for some days he can go sleep over there.
Yeah, obviously I want to be like, it's like, I know this is very selfish. It's like, oh, you just want it when you want it. Like, yeah, like I want you in my space when I want you in my space. But if I don't want you in my space, get out my face.
Ooh, child, and that's why we single. For me, I have lived alone for a very long time. I mean, I'm gassing it. Yes, I was raised with my mom, but in the sense of like, you know, my mom was always working, and like I'm used to it's either my mom or I'm by myself in terms of like living together. I don't know. I just feel like if we're dating or married, I don't know. I don't think I want you in the down the block in my property. I think I still would prefer to have shared space, but I definitely get it of wanting your own personal space, because I'm a real social, non-social person. Like, I could kiki, woohoo, but then I'm like, girl, take me home. I need to recharge.
No, literally, like even living with my parents, like I see my parents, but I'm very isolated. Like, I will go in my room and will not come out for the rest of the day. Like, you don't gotta worry about me. You don't gotta talk to me. You barely even gotta feed me. Honestly, all I need is a blanket and some water. Like, just leave me alone. Like,
damn, blanket and a water is giving hostage. You in the house?
Yeah, I will hold myself hostage. Like, I tell people all the time, like, I'm a very social. Like, I'm social, but I also love being alone. Like, and I prefer to be alone than around people. I just, you know, for our jobs and everything like that, I just have to be around people a lot. But it's like, we don't have to be in, like, you don't have to be down the block, but I would love a bridge connecting a separate home for you and then for me. Like, if we could walk into
a bridge.
Yeah, like a bridge. Like, you can walk into my, like, yeah, like a little tunnel, like a tunnel that takes you to, like, you walk it and you in my house, I'm in your house, like, you know, like a duplex.
Now, the hostage stories continue. Anyways, if you made it this far in honor of us talking about separate beds, comment a bed. Leave a bed comment and a basketball, because we literally spent a whole lot on basketball. Shout out to the NBA. Shout out to the Super Bowl. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We can't wait to come back next week, and hopefully it's all good news. And
I'm going to tell you about my parlays, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all about them.
We're not worried about no parlays. That's on y'all. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a comment, a bed, and a basketball. And we will see you guys next Friday. Bye.